Hey folks, Nas here. Another episode of Medieval Dynasty. Looks like today, just a little bit ago, they actually, the devs dropped a new major roadmap update number 4. So it looks like this is going to the stable branch, so not the test branch. So most of the folks on the test branch will have already seen these updates because they have been given to us over the past several weeks. Alrighty, so let's get into this. Hello, village leaders. The time has come. The update is here. Here is the next Medieval Dynasty roadmap major update. This time we've added new resources, new tools and activities, a hairy new companion, and a whole lot of fixes and optimizations. Let's take a look at all of the additions in more detail. It's hard to imagine the growth of a community without proper resources. From now on, in addition to iron, now you can also dig copper and tin. You will find copper and tin in caves. These deposits are easy to reach. To find iron, though, you have to dig a little bit deeper into the caves themselves. To get access to their depths, you will need to build mines. Down below is the home to the valuable iron ore. After collecting these precious ores, you or your people can take them back to your village smithy. The blacksmith will smelt the raw tin and copper ores into tin and copper bars, which you can then combine and create the coveted bronze bars. Iron is a simpler process. You can convert iron ores straight into iron bars. Use these valuable bars to create a whole new range of copper and bronze tools and weapons such as hammers, sickles, knives, bolts, arrows, and more. As you can see, there is a whole new underground world with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered by you. We also added a new model of transportation, a donkey. He is slower than your old friend, the trusty horse, but he can carry more stuff than his bigger cousin. And he's also cheaper. The perfect value for money companion. But that's not all that you will get in this update. Take some time off from your everyday task, venture out and visit Tutki. This is the place you can find and buy a donkey. We have also added a whole lot of fixes and other updates too. One of them is a change in buying and selling prices. From now on, all selling prices will be higher and buying prices will be lower. See the changelog for all the details. And one last thing. From now on, all of our Dutch, Chinese, and Swedish fans can enjoy their medieval experience in their own languages. Let us know what you think about this major update below. Write down your thoughts in the comments section. What is the first thing you will do in the new update? We're curious to hear your answers, and as always, don't be shy. Stay in touch and follow us on our social media channels. All the best, your Top Lits production and Render Cube teams. Alrighty, so on the update notes for version 0.5.0.3, these are going to be all the things that they have added to the game. New sounds for rabbit trap, open and close. New sounds for donkey. New sounds for blacksmithing, the forge with bellows. New sounds for blacksmithing anvil. Hardening in the bucket. So there's a bucket next to the anvil now, and it makes a little hissing sound when they harden the metal. Swedish language, Dutch language. New resource deposits, copper, tin, iron, salt. New resource items, copper ore, copper bar, tin bar, bronze bar, iron bar. Some NPC production settings may reset now. New copper tools of weapons, hammer, axe, hoe, shovel, sickle, knife, arrow, bolt, spear. New bronze tools of weapons, hammer, axe, hoe, shovel, sickle, scythe, knife, arrow, bolt, spear, pickaxe. New animations for NPCs working in the tavern. New workbench, the forge. New vendor preset system. Family for Raymond. So in the save games, they will spawn after the season change. So if you're currently, whatever season you're currently in, you'll have to wait till the next season to see that change. And Raymond is the farmer that was at the village that didn't have a name. He would now be in Tutki, because that's the name of that particular village now. Dough will now appear on the bakery shovel and in the stove before becoming baked food. Fish or meat will now appear on the firebox during crafting. New village Tutki, which I just had mentioned, that was formerly Raymond's house. New system that generates interesting places on the map each season, such as carts with items. Old carts on the map are now belong to this system. So I have put out a video a while back about these carts and where their locations were and what items were available at each cart. I'll try to remember to put a card at the top of the screen for you as well, and link in the description. I'm not sure if these carts, I know they're on that system, but apparently they're going to change when they're available. I don't know if they're going to change their locations. So that will be for a future video. New mount donkey can be bought in the new village Tutki. They will spawn in save games after the season change. So again, if you'll have to wait till the season change to be able to buy your new donkey. If you're in a game save. If you're starting a new game, then by the time you get there, they'll already be there. Compass icons for specific vendor types. So the little icon for your vendor is not just going to be a bag anymore. It's going to be their job description as well. Status icons next to the NPC names when interacting with them. Let's see. Forge now has a fire during crafting. Firebox in the tavern now has a fire during crafting. Double click detection in the UI. Icon for flirting option and dialogue. New sounds for the bull. Crafting menu displays information about the recipe, durability, price, food, water, etc. New music in game. New tool, weapon, stone pickaxe. New tool, bronze shearing shears. New icon for recipes in crafting categories. Let's see, fire for stove. Player now must start a fire before being able to use the stove, forge, or cauldrons for crafting. Custom game mode modifier for increasing building limits to 200% of the basic value. So this, I haven't looked at this yet, but I believe this is going to be when you start a new game. I don't think that you can increase this in an already saved game. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. That way it's cleared up for future viewers. Let's see. New sounds of sweat wiping for NPCs. Okay. New sounds of head scratching for NPCs. New sounds of sneezing for NPCs. Okay, I didn't even know that those were a thing. I guess I haven't paid that close of attention to whether my NPCs were sweating or scratching their head. Okay, but those are cool. I like that. And then, of course, they fixed a bunch of stuff, which I am not going to cover everything that they fixed because, as you can see, it's quite a long list. Now, updated, let's see here, that is also a very long list. Now, we'll quickly go through the updated stuff. So, economy had changed, base selling factor is now 50% instead of 35, and the buy factor is now 150 instead of 200. They covered that. Sounds in new animations for cooking, cauldron, firebooks, and male and female NPC. Frequency of sound for farm animals has been reduced. Mixed sounds of wind. Item descriptions, building descriptions, skill descriptions, technology, furniture, knowledge tab, tutorial messages. NPCs now fertilize chunks on fields with set target seeds regardless of a season. Dialogue, UI, radio menus, the languages, so the Japanese, Swedish, Polish, Brazilian, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Czech, Turkish, Russian, Ukrainian, Hungarian, English, French, and Chinese. Did they mention Chinese twice? No. Okay. Oh, they mentioned Japanese. That's what it was. Okay. I thought I read Chinese twice. Sorry about that. Interacting with the chest in buildings shows the name of that building. Changing the building name from Sewing to Sewing Hut, which makes sense. I think I've been calling it a Sewing Hut from day one. Change the workstation name from Spinning Wheels to Spinning Wheels, so they just dropped the S because it's only one wheel. Change name for item parameter for health points to durability. So a lot of your weapons and your tools used to say health points or HP. Now they say durability. Change name for fertilizer to fertilizer. They just changed the spelling. Change the name for skill and technology from crafting to production and production technology. Change the name for category and tailoring table from tailoring to miscellaneous. The name of the points required for next level in skill are now experience points instead of skill points. Change the name for the professions in the barn to farmer, works on fields and orchards, and barn worker, threshes grain and produces other items. Hidden UI allows to use inventory tab. Okay, so when you hide the UI or hide the HUD, you can actually still use the inventory tab in that now. Okay, that's good. Excuse me. Feathers are collected automatically after felling the tree. Okay. So the feathers used to, when you chop down the tree, the feathers used to drop on the ground and you had to pick the feathers up. Now, when you chop down the tree, the feathers will automatically go into your inventory. You don't have to take the extra step of looking around and trying to find them on the ground. I actually like that feature as well, especially for early game when you are having to really find those first 50 feathers to start making your first batch of arrows. Many of the already existing interactions provide additional technology points. The assortment of vendors has been increased. The number of vendors on the map has been increased. Stable technology requirements lowered from 5,000 to 2,000. Apiary technology requirements lowered from 9,000 to 5,000. I like that as well. That way you can get to those items a lot sooner in the game and enjoy their benefits. Field management is not cropped during seed selection. The number of seasons to complete challenges increased by 1. Traveling merchant event, new option if the player has diplomacy maxed out, which I do not. Because I'm horrible at working on my diplomacy. Let's see. Decreased items, icon size in quick slot radial menu. Food that is being fried now changes depending on the recipe. Firebox animation for the player is now faster. Item selection optimization, anvil and forge models, anvil animation for the player and NPCs, forge animation for the player and NPCs. Knight Rider talent no longer increases animation speed for the horse. Scroll up a little bit. There we go. Let's see, we're back up here now. Scythe holding animation for the NPCs. Spears and throwing rocks will now automatically start aiming if the player has more than one of them in the inventory and is holding right action button after throwing. The duration of the alcohol intoxication effect is increased. Some iron items, feathers, and wines had their parameters changed. Some items, such as saddlebags or saddle, no longer require iron in production and now use tin bar instead. Workers and animals, that's good actually, because you can make your saddlebags and stuff a lot easier. You don't have to have the mine to get the tin, but you do have to have it to get the iron. So I like that they changed that. Workers and animal limits are now added to the description in the building radial menu. Smithy recipes are now sorted in a different way. The length of the cave depends on whether you have a mine building, which is what we just talked about. You have to have the mine to get to the iron. Toddlers have more clothes to put on. You definitely don't want naked toddlers running around. The age of the animals is considered in production. Toddler idols animations in fall and winter. Toddler walking animation. New model for the mine building. So the new model for the mine building is the lights in the cave. So the torches in the cave. The exterior of the building doesn't appear to have changed at all. So that's what that change is. The position of the horse equipment in inventory, animals price with the same name price factors as items. Let's see, nerfed last level of barter skill, so now it gives 30% instead of 40%, so your barter skill has been lowered, just for the last skill though, the last skill point. Let's see, new music in game, sounds for foal male, foal female, bull, calf male, calf female. NPC name changed from Rasimir to Rasimir with an A. They've changed the spelling because you could find your twin in the game that had the same spelling as your character. Now they've changed that so you won't be able to find your twin anymore. It'll be your cousin. Caves with the built mine are lighted by torches. This is part of the new building. Item-related inputs in HUD are now hidden when the player is on mount. Adjusted chance to destroy for bronze and copper arrows and bolts depending on material type. The cave with the mine building has signs pointing in the direction of the exit. Well, that's good. I haven't looked at that yet, but that's good. Because there'd be times where I'd do little breadcrumbs. So I'd drop items or I'd leave items knowing which way to go to leave the cave. Soup in cauldrons now is boiling when cooking. Increased weights from 20 to 40 max to 30 to 60 max for the donkey. That's good because when they first brought the donkey out, the donkey had the same weight capability as the horse, I believe. Let's see here. Icon for all item category. Technology rewards for completing quests now have technology word for more clarity. Being drunk also affects player movement with player input. Added meat to a pigsty vendor. Lowered resource costs of vegetable soup. Improved rotation of NPCs who want to sit on a bench or stool. Improved rotation of NPCs who talk to other NPCs. Well, there you go. That is everything that was added or updated. Again, I am not covering the fixed list because that's going to be just too much longer. But the main things, you get the donkey and we have the new lights in the caves now, which is going to be really cool. Again, you have to have the mine built in order to have the torches in the caves. But anyway, that is your new Medieval Dynasty major roadmap update number 4 for the stable branch. If you folks like this, definitely hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It definitely helps the channel out a lot. Feel free to come and join us over at the hecticnasari Discord community. I'll leave the link in the description below, and we will see you folks in the next one. You take care and happy hunting.